What up, y'all? So, I didn't think I would have to have or talk about this topic, but I do. And it took me a minute to figure out how would I put the words together to talk about this topic. And this goes out to all my parents out there. It's bad enough that we have a lot of things to worry about in regards to social media, suicides, active shooters in school. I mean, I honestly think the kids today have a lot harder because there is no privacy compared to how I came up. There's no reprieve from the world. It's in everything we do. And so I want to be sure that I come across correct as I explain this. And for the individual that decided they wanted to do that or chose to do that particular action, that's why I'm doing this video right now. And I know I'm being vague. I want to let them know that I don't have any hard feelings for him because one, is hiking on hike. Two, he had enough respect not to do it in front of my son. And three, it's forcing my hand to talk about this topic. Drugs. Drugs on trail. It's no secret that some through hikers smoke marijuana. It's no secret that some do heroin, some do crack cocaine, whatever. It's no secret. There's drugs on trail. It is what it is. The most prevalent drug of all is alcohol. That is a drug. Legal, but is a. And depending on which state you go to, marijuana also may be legal. But there's one problem. You're on federal land. And so because you're on federal land, it is not legal. It's illegal. And so as that individual decided he wanted to smoke some marijuana, I sit there and think to myself on, should I say something or should I not say something? And I opted not to say anything for the simple fact that he got up and moved himself from my son. He was directly behind him rolling, the marijuana. He moved off a little bit, enough to where my son was couldn't see. And I thank him for that. So thank you. And I don't know, that whole situation, it made me uncomfortable, not for myself, but more for my son, because I've talked about sex. I've talked about sexual predators. I talked about don't play with guns. I talked about being responsible. I talked about coming home, not lying. But the one thing that I have not spoke to my son about in detail is drugs. And I don't even know where to begin with that because I don't want to entice him to where he is interested in doing it. And compared to, firearms, I took him to the range so he get the ideology of shooting a gun out of his system. What I'm gonna do? Have my son smoke some weed so he can get that out of his system? That's preposterous. That is stupid. There's no way that I can do that. Number one, is illegal. Shit, crap, and it's child endangerment. I don't know. And so I did some research, and what I've found and think which should work, I hope it works, I pray it works, is awareness of drugs. I think that's the most important thing. Number one, awareness of drugs, because us as parents, we can't pretend that it's not there. Pretending that it's not there doesn't make the problem go away. And a lot of people do that. I know that a lot of parents in my generation did that, especially when it came down to being gay. They did that hugely. And now look where we're at. The hate crimes, the LGBTQ community coming out the way they're coming out. Strong and just like swinging it because they had to, because for a long time it was swept under the rug. And I have nothing against the LTG community. You guys are doing your thing, you rock. Handle your business. So awareness is important. Just like I made him aware of my firearm, I need to make him aware of drugs. Then from there, second is education. The way that I educated Little Bear is that I showed him the firearm. I broke the firearm down. I told him the 4 weapon safety rules. I emphasized how it could harm somebody. And in the end, I let him shoot it. All that's under education. And I think that educating him on the different types of drugs, educating him on how they can play a negative effect on the body is critical. Now, I'm not talking about medical marijuana that helps someone that's dying, you know, like a cancer patient, allow them to eat, or a terminally ill patient. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about straight recreational, you know, marijuana. Straight recreational. There's no recreational for PCP. There's no recreational for heroin. There's no recreational for cocaine. So I don't know what I'm talking about with that. I'm just trying to make sense of this. So education. And I'm gonna wrap this video up real quick. I just wanted to spit this, you know, this topic out there for you guys. And I challenge you guys, or call it to action. Let's talk about this, because I didn't think that this would ever happen. Like, I knew it was there, but I never thought it would actually happen until that situation transpired in front of me. So I think as parents, I'm letting you guys know that, hey, it's there. We need to take action. So I take a call to action for all parents to talk to your kids about this. And I take a call to action for you guys to comment down below. Literally, comment down below, because this needs to be something that we're serious about, because at the end of the day, drugs impair a person's judgment. They do. I don't care what drug it is. It does something to the human brain. It may stimulate it, it may depress. I don't care. But out in the woods, I really don't think that is the place to be messing around with drugs. I mean, I really don't think you should be drinking alcohol while you're out there, you know, in the middle of the woods. Say that for the trail town. But it happens. It happens. I can't sit here and lie to you like it don't happen. It happens. So I think that we as parents need to handle that. Lock and key, baby. So going to my third thing, communication. Once I make him aware, once I educate him, I have to keep that line of communication open and constantly checking with my son. Just have random talks about this whatever. In some way swing my focus on the drugs. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I'm not angry. If anything, I'm concerned, maybe a little bit afraid, because I don't want him to get caught up in something he doesn't need to be in. Either going to the hospital because he took something from someone that he shouldn't take, or getting locked up and losing the possibility of him getting a scholarship or government assistance. I don't want him to deal with that drama in life. It's bad enough that he's a black male in today's society, because let's keep it real. Racism is a very, very controversial topic, and people are ignorant. That's the reason why racism is the way it is. And so the last thing I want is for him to have a drug charge attached to him as well. Black drug charges. It's hard to find jobs out there. It's hard to get into school. It's hard to do anything, because the system is not for the poor, and it's not for the minority. That is the truth. It is not for the poor. It doesn't matter if you're poor white, poor Asian, poor black. It's not meant for us if we're poor. And I consider myself somewhat poor, because I ain't got no disposable income like that. I work hard. I do what I gotta do. I'm that almost poor class. One injury, one Aflac, it's over. So yeah, that's the truth. So again, I hope I said something powerful and wasn't just rambling on for this video. The only thing I can do now is just do more research for myself, so I can know how to explain this to my son, and then keep revisiting the topic. But I want to thank you guys for letting me rant, as per se. I hope this works out well for you. And if anything, talk to your kids. Doesn't matter how old they are. They can be 36. They're still your child. Talk to them. And some propaganda. So if you guys like this video, please be sure to like the video. If you guys like the content what I'm pushing out, don't forget to subscribe. This helps us out a lot in regards to me being motivated to continue to do these videos. If you have any comments, please comment down below, because I think this is a good discussion for us to have. And make sure you click the notification button so you get more updates. But I like to just emphasize that awareness, education, and communication, I think, is the way to go. And don't let the first time you talking about this topic to your daughter or son be the same way I just was exposed to the drugs out on trail. Talk about it now. Have the line of communication now. And so with that being said, happy life, happy hike. Or happy hike, happy life. I'm out here.